And day 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft has come to a close, and the Saints come out with 2 very interesting and very impactful positions of need. And Isaiah Foskey, the edge rusher out of Notre Dame, and Kendre Miller, the running back out of TCU. I'm going to get into my thoughts on Kendre Miller and get into my draft grades for day 2 here at the end of today's video. But just to retouch on Isaiah Foskey, you know, the 6'5", 264-pound edge rusher out of Notre Dame. He is a stud with a 9.59 RAS, relative athletic score grade. He was able to do some really great things, had top-tier production, and he is Notre Dame's career sack leader. Tom Downey, our NFL draft guru here at Chat Sports, had him as the number 10 edge rusher and the number 46 overall prospect, meaning the value for this pick was just about correct according to our draft experts. He has high effort. He's a major hustle guy, and that is something that's very easy to tell based on the production. 45 tackles, 14 tackles for a loss, 11 sacks for the Fighting Irish last year. And the sack production is something that I'm excited about for the New Orleans Saints, as they did not produce a ton of sacks on the defensive line last season. And I love this pairing on the opposite side of Cameron Jordan to take over for Carl Granderson in the long term. Now, in terms of what the Athletics' Dane Brugler had to say on Isaiah Foskey, here's what he had to say. I'm going to break it down for you. Foskey needs to be more consistent versus the run, and his pass rush arsenal lacks variety. However, he has promising traits, and his play speed and nonstop hustle raise his floor as an NFL player. He projects an impactful sub-package rusher as a rookie with the talent to develop into a full-time edge rusher. Now, we talked about some pros. Now, where there's pros, there's cons. So I'm going to talk about some cons. He needs to be better as a pass rusher and with his winning moves, and he kind of leans on his bull rushing and his effort to win the battle in the trenches, which I'm not going to say is a bad thing, but it's something that if I'm a edge rusher, I want to further develop my skills so that way I can be the most effective edge rusher as possible. And I really like this fit. I think that Dennis Allen and the Saints staff is going to do everything they need to in order to make Isaiah Foskey a quality pick. I really, really like this pick. He's a very good fit for the New Orleans Saints locker room. He's not afraid of hard work. He's one of those guys who's going to come in, put his nose to this grindstone, and get the job done. So the Saints have had some very intriguing picks so far. They picked Bryan Bresee at number 29 overall, the defensive tackle out of Clemson. They take Isaiah Foskey at number 40 overall, and they take Kendre Miller at number 71 overall, despite Tyjae Spears being available. So what's been your favorite pick of the 2023 NFL Draft so far for the New Orleans Saints? For me, I got to say, Isaiah Foskey, I really, really like. But Bryan Bresee is a absolute position of need that I'm really glad the Saints addressed in the first round, and I'm glad they didn't overthink it and make a move that wouldn't have made too much sense. So let me know, Who Dat Nation, take advantage of the potential ad break that gets placed here and share your thoughts. So for Kendre Miller, this is an intriguing player. Obviously, Tyjae Spears was available at number 71 overall. Y'all know me. I was very high on Tyjae Spears. I was saying draft Tyjae since, we started draft coverage like months ago. But I think that Kendre Miller could be an awesome fit for the New Orleans Saints. Tom Downey here at Chat Sports had him as the number 9 running back overall, the number 122 prospect overall. Now, he comes out of a small town in East Texas, right on the border of Texas and Louisiana. So he's going to fit in that Louisiana feel. He probably gets a little bit of that vibe, a little of that mojo at 5'11" and 215 pounds. I'm excited to see what the 21-year-old can do alongside Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. So for scouting Kendre Miller, he's coming off a big-time breakout year with a jump in volume for the Horned Frogs. He was a big piece of the success of the Horned Frogs offense to make it to the college football playoff in that Cinderella run they had this past season. He wasn't overworked in college, but he still made plenty of big plays and had great production with TCU, which is something I really like. He took advantage of what he was given. In 224 carries, he had just under 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns on the ground, and 6.2 yards per tote. He was a former 3-star recruit. He was a number 125 overall athlete in the state of Texas in 2020. This is a player that is going to be quality for the long term. And I have some thoughts on maybe he could be a potential Alvin Kamara fit. I'm going to break that down here in just a few minutes. But before I get to that, we're going to be live again on day 3 for the 2023 NFL Draft. We've been live every single pick, breaking down every trade, every move, every pick that's gone down of the 2023 NFL Draft. So join us at youtube.com/chatsportstv. I will have the link for the sub link for Chat Sports in the comment section and the description of this video. Day 3 of the NFL Draft has some intriguing players still available, and we are going to share our thoughts, have plenty of Super Chat giveaways, and have plenty of entertaining and informative content for you as the Who Dat Nation. So subscribe and join us tomorrow on Chat Sports live NFL Draft coverage of Day 3. So for Dane Brugler, this is his breakdown of Kendre Miller. Miller's a work in progress as a receiver and a blocker, and his decision-making as a runner has room for improvement. But his lower body agility, acceleration, and natural balance are traits that can upgrade an NFL backfield. And now this is a running back. He's hard to tackle. He's a hard guy to bring down. He's going to accelerate through the contact, and he's going to make it he's going to make it a point when you make contact with you, he's falling forward. He's not going to get hit and bounce off to the side or bounce backward for a yard. He's going to get hit, and he's either going to run you over or he's going to get that extra yard, which is something that I love with a Saints offensive player. And when it comes to the fit for New Orleans, you obviously have Alvin Kamara's suspension looming in the distance. We don't know what's going to happen there. The court date is still upcoming, and we don't know how much time Alvin Kamara could potentially miss. You signed Jamal Williams, who led the NFL in touchdowns this past season in 2022 with the Detroit Lions. I love the fit. Kendre Miller does have some room to grow as a pass catcher, but he's somebody, like Dane Brugler said, is a work in progress that I think could make a lot of sense for New Orleans, and I think that he's a player that could be a great fit. So just one more time, I want to break it down for you and tell you what the Saints selections are in case you missed any of our other videos, or in case this is your first video you found here by Saints Now, or here at Saints Now by Chat Sports. Bryan Bresee, number 29 overall from Clemson, going in the first round. Isaiah Foskey, round 2, number 40, an edge rusher. I love the move. You got to get Cameron Jordan some help on the opposite side of the defensive line. And as bad as it sounds, as much as we hate talking about it as Saints fans, you got to get somebody to replace Cameron Jordan in the long term. Kendre Miller also as a pick at number 71 overall. So Who Dat Nation, before we hop on out of here, I want you to let me hear it. Grade the Saints draft so far. Obviously, there's a handful of picks tomorrow. You're not picking a ton. You're picking in the 5th and in the 7th round. But there's some players that could make an impact for the Saints. I'm going to get you to my grade here in just a second, but I need you to grade the Saints draft so far, considering Tyjae Spears was available and the Saints passed on him. I like the move, but again, Tyjae was kind of my guy, but I do like Kendre Miller. My overall grade so far for the New Orleans Saints, it's a solid B. It's a solid B. You addressed a position of need in every single pick so far. You've made good picks every pick so far. Kalijah Kancey was not available at number 29 overall. You also didn't have some of the other top defensive tackles in the first round available, so I liked going and getting Bryan Bresee, the pick after Myles Murphy, And then Kendre Miller, he's going to be a solid pickup in the running back room to develop behind Alvin Kamara and behind Jamal Williams. He's a guy that if you want to move on from Alvin Kamara in the distant future or in the near future, it makes it a little bit easier to do that. I like what the Saints have done so far with the draft. I'm excited to see what they do tomorrow. But Who Dat Nation, before we hop on out of here, One more reminder, please, please, please subscribe and join our squad here at Saints Now by Chad Sports. We take a ton of pride here in being Saints content by Saints fans for Saints fans. If this is your first video you've ever watched here from the channel, my name is Trace Girouard. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, but my blood is Bayou bled. I have never, ever, ever been a Cowboys fan. I've always bled black and gold, and I've always been a proud Cajun. So guys, lock us in, subscribe today, and join us for the best content year-round and throughout the NFL season. Y'all stay golden. Who Dat Nation will be back again tomorrow for some more draft coverage. We'll see you tomorrow.